Troubling times are upon us in this Paradox Grand strategy game, Hearts of Iron 4. It's 1936 and tension is brewing. Germany is remilitarizing, and the newest expansion, Gujadamarang, promises an enhanced and more character-driven focus to the conflict. Will it? Probably not. But will it make Germany, the country I previously said is the easiest in the game to play, incredibly overpowered? Yes, probably. I can only assume so. You see, I immediately loaded into the game and spent 10 hours trying to find what research I needed to do to build flame tanks so I could get the very balanced flame tank support company into all of my divisions, only to inevitably find it in the new special projects sub-tab of the research tab. So here we research the flame tanks and never use this tab again, as it'll only serve as an annoying notification to flash at the top of the screen with all the other notifications. I'm really a fan of these things. You can also now build new research centers as buildings to play into this mechanic. I'm guessing America would maybe do this. As for everybody else, I don't know, honestly. Besides the flame tank support companies, I don't really know what you need to research in this game. Maybe like heavy machine guns for your fighter 3s. But the thing is, last I checked, to research those, you didn't have to like build this incredibly expensive building and assign someone to research it like this is Stellaris. In addition to whatever, this expansion also enhances nukes. Unfortunately, unless I fall asleep, I will probably never get far enough into a vanilla game to ever build nukes, which is maybe unfortunate, but nukes kind of do break the game, so there's a reason that you can't just do some crazy research to get them faster. I at least understand that. And it wouldn't be historical, of course. The real test, though, to see if someone is good at this game is to see if they send volunteers to Spain. As you see, as an avid fan of JRPGs, I love nothing more than grinding for XP and traits for a long time and doing nothing else. And it's easy to end the Spanish Civil War instantly as Germany or Italy, but like Ethiopia before Paradox changed it to make it a bad idea, you generally want to keep the Civil War going on for as long as possible. And it's not like I even care which side wins. I don't think it matters. I think if the Republic wins, they might join the Soviets later, and that's kind of messed up. And the Soviets steal their gold, or maybe the Soviets steal their gold anyways. I can't remember for sure. All I can guarantee is that we'll be stealing a lot of gold this game. We're finally getting plunder mechanics like this is Sea of Thieves or something. I mean, I at least have seen mods do this before. I can't remember which ones, but whatever ones did do this were like super complicated. And the German economy would like collapse if you didn't instantly end the war. It was very, very unrealistic, of course. Everybody knows the German economy was completely fine at this time. And now our AI friends that we can recruit, friends, you know, can do focuses for us. If this stopped you from doing your main focus, it would be hilarious and annoying, but more funny than not. Unfortunately, it's a separate thing and you can still do your normal focus. And I guess it doesn't necessarily add anything new to the game, but a cool way to visualize delayed rewards for doing a single focus. I guess there are complicated interactions and things that could be done with this. I already have 1,000 ideas about how you could use this in cool ways in mods. I'm sure someone's already making something crazy where you have to like fight against some rogue agent who's bringing your country down a path you don't want. And hey, if some other modders don't do it, I guess I always could. And with a few more focuses and factories, here we are in March 39. I don't have an amazing benchmark to compare this to, but I feel like I'm much stronger than I usually am before completing Danzig or War. And unless I'm trying to do some cheese where I get a peace conference with Poland and they don't join the Allies, I rarely see a need to declare an early war like this. I just got here really fast, I guess. Maybe I'm missing something, and I don't feel like I'm missing something. I built a ton of refineries, I did all the rubber focuses and research, and I did the Molotov pack, and I really didn't skip that much. Either way, from playing this game a lot, I've realized that capping Poland as Germany only really requires that you take Danzig as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you build bad, the Allies, I guess, might put divisions in Poland and stop you. Though on the other hand, they could always put their divisions in Poland, you capitulate Poland, and the entire 30 French divisions they put in there you get for free. Everything's a gamble, I guess. Besides Danzig, intel is always important, and planning bonus, and CAS. These are some of the reasons why this game takes like 300 hours to become competent in. Back when I first started playing this game, I tried to join a multiplayer game, but was told I couldn't because I did not yet have 1,000 hours. And I usually do around Maginot while I'm attacking Poland, but wasn't sure how things would go with this new DLC. I don't know if there's some new mechanic where your country explodes. You don't instantly declare war on the Netherlands and Belgium, who knows? So I waited to start that focus until Poland capped, but I honestly could have just done it then. Slightly delaying our blitzkrieg though, I doubt will be a problem at this point. The only issue I've noticed is that I didn't quite produce enough fighters to guarantee green air in the west, but if you play things well, getting into Paris is pretty free. Either way, around Maginot went as good as it could. Before Belgium could move divisions to its northeasternmost province, we decked on them and began rushing our light tanks towards Paris. At this point, even if France moved its entire army to the city, they wouldn't have enough org or entrenchment to stop us. Maybe there's an easier way than this to win, like para-dropping VPs, but this strategy has been consistent for at least 5 years, and as long as you capitulate them before they remove divided government, Calais and Paris will end things. And before this point, it's important that we don't call Italy into the war, because of course, it theoretically makes capitulating France easier, but similar to historical Italy, you can't really trust them to handle things in Africa. They'll put their entire army in Ethiopia and usually lose it all, so you kind of need to kill France yourself, and then babysit them, at least for a little bit. And moving to Africa, we could mess around here for ages, trying to capitulate South Africa, but that isn't really necessary, unless for some ungodly reason they have become a major, or more likely India does and we have to get over to them. But all that's really necessary for now is that we win in North Africa, take Cairo, and then Italy will hopefully manage to hold the deserts so we can 1v1 the Soviets later. And I wasn't planning, maybe, to do a sea lion, but I did build up my capital ship fleet, so I might as well try. I got naval supremacy for a split second and launched an invasion, but couldn't land on their port and got raided. But this did allow me to engage the British Navy under favorable conditions, and later I was able to set up a proper sea line. If you can take a port on Britain prior to the US joining the Allies, there's very little they can do against tanks if you can get green air. So after designing some new tanks, I quickly ended the war with the Allies, taking the UK Navy, puppeting England and Scotland separately. Also, even after the Allies were gone, Italy somehow managed to lose to Greece. I guess they always find a way. I had to join the war and invade them with the Marines I made for Sea Lion and saved the day, as always. Hungary, for some reason, did not want to join us, so we had to quickly topple Hoi4 before moving on to the Soviets. Maybe that was due to one of the focuses that I should have done before Danziger War, I don't know. And against the Soviets, it's usually best to micro your tanks early on and get huge encirclements in the Baltics and eastern Poland, but we're so strong that's hardly necessary. I just invaded Leningrad and battle planned the tanks and infantry using very minimal macro to make sure we took all the major cities in time to meet the directive mission. And with that, we're done. I would say that this feels easier overall than it did previously before this expansion. I'm happy to see Japan still hasn't capitulated China, very nice. And they're at war with me? I have no clue why. I would say though that this feels more fun now, which is probably more important than it being difficult in any way. Like if you want it to be difficult, just buff the countries. Saying it's more fun when it's less difficult though might say more about me than it says about the game, which hopefully isn't the case. I enjoy difficult Hoi4 challenges as much as anybody else, I swear. The focus tree aesthetically looks a lot nicer, even with new buttons that take you around to places. I can't really complain about anything. There's succession focuses too, and there's some sea lion focuses we didn't get to either. Like there was an actual focus for Operation Sea Lion that I just didn't ever do because I guess we didn't really need to do it. And I can't do it now because I'm not at war with the United Kingdom. I can't bypass the focus because instead of subjugating the UK, I subjugated England. And I forgot to take some of these islands, so the regular UK still technically exists, unfortunately. But doing this leads us to decisions about America later on, where we can actually establish protectorates in America. I also am happy that we can invite Brazil to our faction. That's great. Oh, never mind, they refuse. I probably will be playing through some other countries, though I might not make a video like this for everyone because I don't know how fun it is to watch unmin-maxed random playthroughs of generic countries in the game. But I do have some other stuff planned, so hopefully I'll see you all around before 2026 or 2027.